ahora. Hi guys, how are you guys doing? It's your girl Sylismukbang, the Mukbang news reporter, here out on the YouTube stream. Now guys, as you guys go to read, yes, today we are going to be talking about a particular person. Yes, here out on the YouTube street and also on other social media. Apparently, he's very famous. Guys, his name is Darius Cooks. Yes, guys, some of you guys may know him. Maybe some of you guys may not know him. He is apparently a chef and all of that. I know him from Facebook. He was dropping some short videos, cooking some steaks and some food. And I always have admired, and always the food were looking so delicious and all of that. But apparently, I think up to now 1 year, some stories, I don't know if it's longer, everybody, but I know about now almost a year, some stories was coming up and seeing that he apparently was scamming people and all of that. Allegedly, people, I don't know. It's what I hear. Don't push it, everybody. Now, before we start with this whole shakara, let me take a sip of my coffee. Yes, delicious. Don't push it, everybody. Now, let's get into the first situation. Now, apparently, after some few months, some news are coming up about him again. People, don't push it, everybody. There was even people who felt like they were scammed of him, even came up with their own story. And they were talking their own thing about this whole situation. Now, guys, I'm going to let them talk for themselves, everybody. Don't push it, everybody. Now, apparently, Michelle, ATL, 8 months ago, have also talked about this situation. Darius Cooks William exposed. So, and all of that. There's a lot of stories about this guy on the internet, guys. They're trying to expose him and all of that. Disgrace Darius Cook assistant exposed dining with Darius Airbnb scam operation and all of that. Apparently they're saying also that he's doxing people on the internet and all of that. Fox 5 have also talked about this. I'm gonna show you all of that, guys. Scammer or wrongly accused. There's a lot of story about this, but apparently now, exactly now, some couple of days now, there is more stories coming out. Now, I want to give a big shout out to Randomness of Vel. He have dropped news about this situation like 1 day ago. He really covered this whole situation fully, so you guys can definitely go check him out. But we are going to a person that have tell his own story, what it was his own experience with Darius Cook. Now let's get into that.
In my description area below. So with that, let's listen to Dustin's story of how Darius Cooks scammed him as well.
So Texas does have regulations for what they call cottage food laws, Texas cottage food laws. There are also cottage food laws all across the country, and it deals with the type of food that you're allowed to prepare and sell from your house. So according to Texas law, you must obtain a Texas food handler certification, which only costs about $10. Your food must have legally required food labels. So far, I have not been able to find a single Texas food handler certification for Darius Williams or Darius Cooks in the state of Texas. Also, there are no labels on any of the food because he's preparing meals, not pre-packaged food items. Under the Texas cottage food laws, you are not allowed to sell from a home, meaning a non-regulated kitchen. Therefore, the Dining with Darius events that he's holding with about 30 people at a time are per se against the cottage food laws of the state of Texas and against the health department rules that regulate the production of food for the public.
This lady, by the way, who's talking is a lawyer, and she talked this more in a more lawsuit situation about Darius Cook. I'm gonna put also her picture. You guys can definitely also go check her out. Now let's continue.
An example of this $289, because it's now $289 for the year 2023 and 2024 event, is that these people have to serve themselves their own food, going so far as to dip their hands into a vat of Kool-Aid sangria that is made in plastic containers that are not food safe. The reason he doesn't have servers, although he does have assistants, but the reason he doesn't have servers is because the servers that he did hire to help him with his event, he did not pay. Let's hear from Dustin, who is a subscriber of this channel, who shared his account of having worked for Darius Cooks in Louisiana. So, Dustin, what's your line of work?
I wait tables, service industry, basically, and I am a musician, but, as I'm getting older, I do less of that.
Yeah. Gotta pay the bills. I get it.
Exactamundo.
So, and how long have you been working in the service industry?
I'd say 22 plus years. Yeah, 22 years.
Oh, that's a good amount of time. Okay, so you're pretty familiar with like what it means to be hired by somebody to do that type of work and what should normally happen then.
Most definitely. I've helped open restaurants. So
oh, okay.
I know what I'm doing.
Yeah. So you've helped to open restaurants, and have you also worked for people in catering?
Of course. Yeah.
And there came a point in time where you were hired on by Darius Cooks, or Darius Williams is his real name?
Yep.
Okay. So how did that come about?
Craigslist, I saw a post and I was like wanting at the time just like to make it a little extra scratch. Normally I had worked catering for like events, like a specific place, catering place here in New Orleans on St. Charles Street. And I was like, this would be kind of cool to do like a private event, why not?
Okay. And that private event was Dining with Darius?
It was.
What year was that? Do you remember approximately?
It's going to be like 2019, I think. I don't know exactly the date or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like shoved it out of my mind.
Right. It was 3 years ago.
Your episode, and then I was like, oh, I do know who this is.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And that was in New Orleans that the Dining with Darius event was at?
Correct.
Okay.
On State Street.
Okay.
Exact.
On State Street. Okay.
Airbnb on State Street. So it was just like me and him there pretty much setting everything up, doing a little prep work here and there, placements of, this, that, and the other thing. And I was curious as to what he was all about, because I didn't know anything about him leading up to this. And, but as far as the whole experience in and of itself, all his clientele, customer, people that people that him, really were engaged and really loved him, and were excited to be there and whatnot.
Yeah.
So on that front, it wasn't like a bad experience whatsoever. It was just the not being paid part was the bad experience.
Was the bad experience, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Was that unique to you? Like how much his fans really like loved him and were there, you know, for him and to interact with him?
I think it was unique in the sense that they all just kind of seemed like they were hanging around like a rock star or something.
I don't know if you like on yours. And I feel like every salad should have fried chicken. So I brought a little chicken to put on the salad. That's what she like. And then I was like, I got to make the dressing. You see what I'm saying? So I made a Hennessy balsamic salad dressing on top of the salad. So if you could do me a favor and make some room in the middle of the table, we'll bring it out to you.
How much were you promised to be paid? Was it put in the Craigslist ad or when he spoke to you in person? How much were you promised to be paid?
You know, I don't remember if it was in the Craigslist, but I'm pretty sure it was like $300, and then there would be like some tip, you know, because there would be a tip pool for the 2 nights that I worked. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it would be kind of all inclusive, except it was, I mean, even if I wouldn't have got tips, as I had aforementioned, it was me and one other waiter. And she was like completely green and new to it all. Like, you know.
Okay.
And I don't remember her name. I haven't seen her since. But it was all basically, that would be figured out once the 2 nights were completed.
Okay, so from your understanding, you were supposed to get paid $300 for 2 nights of work. How many hours did you work? Do you remember?
It was just dinner service. It wasn't very long. Maybe like 5 hours each night. Okay,
so about 10 hours of work, you would get paid $300. And
then whatever tip, like residual, like tip, you know.
Yeah.
Once he's paying for whatever it made sense to me at the time. I was like,
sure.
Okay.
Yeah. So did you get any of the tips?
Nah, I got nothing.
Nothing. So none of the tips and none of the $300 that you were promised for the 2 nights?
0.
And what did you do to try to, you know, get payment if you did anything at all?
I called him and was basically just ignored. I don't know, he blocked me or whatever. And then at a certain point, I just like gave up on it.
Wow.
Wow. I mean, why spend the time, you know, why make my job like trying to find out where he's at when I had already known, I already knew he was from out of town. And I will say this, I did look him up on Instagram.
Yeah.
And I was just like, And I might have messaged him, but because I never got a single response, I just let it go.
Yeah.
I was just like, you got to.
Yeah, you had to move on with your life.
You know, all these years later, I just see your video. And at first, because I usually like have podcasts like in the background and then I'll like glance over now and then. But then once you got to going on about it, I was like, oh,
yeah,
it's him.
Yeah. So to be clear, Dustin is not alone. He learned about the Darius Cooks' ongoing widespread issues from watching this channel. But there are other individuals who have worked for Darius that have come forward and said that they have not been paid.
So there you go. Here's yet another survivor.
Guys, as you guys could hear, that was a worker, somebody that have worked with Darius Cooks and all of that. That was his story through with him and all of that. Apparently Fox 5 have also covered this news. They have put a short video on YouTube also. I'm gonna show you guys this part. They have talked about Darius Cook also. 18 food fight Atlanta-based influencer posts personal information of critics. So apparently Darius was also doxing people after the people were giving their complaint or their opinion or criticism go wrong, so they have been doxed by him. Let me tell you, this part you're gonna be in shock, guys. Now let's go to the part of Fox 5.
To nourish the soul as well as the body, but the Fox 5 I-Team says an Atlanta social media influencer who touts his cooking skills have left behind a mess of complaints.
That's right. Fox 5 I-Team reporter Randy Travis spent time investigating a man who goes by the name Darius Cooks. You've been hearing a lot about this guy, Randy.
That's right, Courtney. Yeah, his real name, though, is Darius Williams. His restaurants in Atlanta are now closed. His credit repair business now shut down. But it's how he treats his online critics through a practice called doxing that may have you questioning his recipe for success. It's 4 hours before dinner at this rented house in Collier Hills. And the Fox 5 I-Team is a surprise addition to the menu for a host who clearly does not want to be on TV. What are you trying to tell me? Had the cameraman leave? Okay, you stand out there. So why are you putting the names of your critics and their personal information online?
You don't see that?
Yeah, I've seen the actual clips.
Let me call my lawyer.
Yes, please call someone. Help us understand why you're doing this on your social media pages to people who complain about you.
We got our kids on there as well. Kids information. I put it on my Instagram.
And it has been a living nightmare.
A self-taught cook, Darius Williams has built an impressive online presence, not just through his website, Darius Cooks TV, where he sells cookbooks and cookware mixed in with his cooking videos, but also on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, where he claims 1.5 million followers. He also sells seats for 7-course meals called Dining with Darius, like the one we visited, held in various cities across the country. Williams often goes live multiple times a day to talk about food, and sometimes brag about background checks followers send him about his critics.
I can tell you who got the speeding ticket. I can tell you who moved from what state to what state.
Just 3 years ago, Georgia authorities shut down Williams' illegal credit repair business, including a $145,000 settlement. And in early 2020, before COVID, Williams suddenly closed his Atlanta restaurants, focusing instead on his online TV career, while also developing a side dish called doxing. Sadly, the ingredients for doxing are easy to find. Take a heaping cup of private or identifying information about someone, sprinkle some malicious intent, throw it on the internet, and watch how hot it burns. Remember those products Williams sells on his website? The Better Business Bureau gives his company an F rating because customers complain they never got what they ordered.
I started to notice a pattern of people coming on his live and asking about refunds.
It also bothered Danielle Holland that Williams would publicly blast some of those unhappy customers, posting their contact information, like this woman, making fun of her, then sharing her brother's phone number when he tried to privately intervene. In our story, we are blurring what Darius did not. So he doesn't like criticism.
He doesn't like criticism. He doesn't like to be questioned.
The Detroit mom started anonymously retweeting some of the complaints she saw. Then one day, she looked at Darius's Twitter page.
I'm scrolling, and the next thing I know, I see a picture of me. I see a picture of my children and my husband. It was almost kind of like literally like an out-of-body experience.
They filed a police report and shut down their social media accounts, but their children's photos are still on Darius's page.
Randy, I'll be honest, I didn't even know what the term dox meant.
The Hollands quickly found others who say they're victims too, like Melanie Ford of Atlanta. She says after she raised questions about Darius's tactics, his followers bombarded her too.
I was reached out to, called all sorts of names. It was absolutely horrible.
So, more drama equals more likes.
He does this for likes, clicks, and engagement.
The food fight has even reached other TV chefs. Sonny Anderson and Andrea Davis, known as the Kitchenista, have issued public condemnations of Williams and his doxing.
This thing about doxing and cyberbullying is real, and it's hurtful, and it's hurting people.
So, what did the usually chatty Darius Williams finally have to say to us?
You can just go on record and say I'm declining the comment. That's it. Have a great day.
Wait a minute.
Yep.
These people are upset because you've been putting their personal information online, Darius. Come on, I thought you liked being on television.
Now, guys, as you guys could see, that was the story of Fox 5. I was very in shock and all of that. Also, I can imagine you guys will also be, and all of that. Apparently this doxing is something that is going on all over YouTube. It doesn't matter which corner, everybody. I think YouTube should definitely take measure, definitely some quick measure about this situation about doxing and all of that. Now, apparently Darius himself, he has a YouTube channel, guys. He has a YouTube channel. The name is Darius Cooks. I'm gonna put a picture so you guys can go check him out for sure and all of that, because this is all allegedly, guys. Don't push it to everybody. I don't know. I see what I see on YouTube. I am here to report, my people. Now, guys, let's go, because Darius has say hi from me here. A quick update. Apparently he was talking about his situation at this moment, and it was dropped on 6 March 2022. So let's go and see what he had to say in his video.
What do you have? Wow, I haven't done one of these in a long time. What up, YouTube? Mainly YouTube. I'm doing this for YouTube, but I'm sure I'm gonna post it on the other socialization. Smack dab in the middle of the tour, dining with Darius Cooks. 44 city, 43? I don't know. A lot. Okay, a lot of cities, a lot of places. So we are rounding up first quarter in a little bit. We'll be done. Hug on your necks to see you, and feed you good food and give you good music and just give you a good time. So it's been great. We've been everywhere so far. Houston, Dallas, Phoenix, LA, San Francisco, Charleston, Charlotte, and now we're in Greenville, South Carolina. So just all over the place. It's just been amazing. So if you're like, where have you been? I haven't seen you cook online. What's happening? Well, partially because I've been on tour. What else? I sold my house. A lot of people kept asking, your house was so beautiful. Why'd you sell it? Why'd you sell it? I don't know if you know what's going on in the real estate market, but right now, real estate is just a complete seller's market right now, and I want to take advantage of the equity that was in my house that I could turn into cash. So that was a cute little $300,000 to stack. So that was a cute little $300,000 to stack. Plus I knew I was gonna be on tour, so I knew that like life was shifting a little bit for me. You know, I'm always talking about go where there's provision, and this tour has definitely been provision. So kind of focused on that. I know you guys missed the live stream cooking, and at some point we'll get back to that, but right now just focused on the tour. And then next year's tour, tickets go on sale April the 9th. The only difference I think with that one is that it's also pretty aggressive, but I'm gonna end up having two seatings, so like a 3 p.m. seating and a 7 p.m. seating. Don't worry, I'll be at both. They'll be at different Airbnbs, same city, different teams, yada yada yada. I got all the logistics worked out. Other than that, that's been it, bruh. Like I've been out in these streets grinding like bad breaks, and just having a good time, living life under a new norm. With the tour, kind of living out of a suitcase right now because I'm literally in a different city every week. But hey, that's cool. You know, it is what it is.
Yes, guys, as you guys could hear, he have given update what is going on in his life. Apparently, he have also sold his house and all of that. He is around the state going, doing still his cooking and all of that in Airbnb and all of that, guys, as you guys could hear. Apparently, there were some videos and things that they were also saying that he's running from the media and all of that. And that's why he is going from left to right. That is what they are saying on the YouTube street, in the social media. People, don't push it, everybody. I am here to report about this situation, about Darius Cooks and all of his, apparently, allegedly, he has been exposed. They say that he is a scammer. He have scammed people. A lot of people are coming out. Even people have worked for him, or people who have purchased something from him. Everybody's coming. A lot of people are coming out and telling their story. Now, guys, yes, this is something. People, don't push it, everybody. Now, guys, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. It's your girl Sylismukbang, the Mukbang news reporter, here out on the YouTube street. Now, guys, like I always say, God bless everybody, stay blessed, everybody, and you know it. Ahora, Sylis in the building. Bye, guys. Doei.